On a different subject here briefly, let me ask you about some disturbing ethics reports related to your department. This is from the Wall Street Journal. U.S. ethics officials in recent years have warned 1/3 of the Energy Department's senior officials own stock related to the agency's work. More than 130 officials in the Energy Department collectively reported about 2,700 trades of shares, bonds, and options in companies that ethics officers labeled as related to the agency's work. Do you own individual stocks, Madam Secretary?
No, I'm invested in mutual funds.
Good. So this report from CNBC last year that said that you violated stock disclosure law 9 times, that's not accurate?
I did fail to file a report in my first year that I thought was supposed to be filed at the end of the year and had to have been filed 3 months earlier. So I was late. That was a...
And this was, you don't own any individual stock now, so maybe you did when you first came and you converted them to mutual funds?
This was, yeah, it totally was the sale of what I had because I'm not owning individual stocks.
I understand. I don't own individual stock either for the same reason. My question to you then is, do you think that other senior members of your department or any department in the executive branch should own individual stock? Why shouldn't we just ban that like we ought to ban it for members of Congress?
I leave it to Congress. I think it's easier when you don't own individual stocks. However, we do have disclosure rules and a very rigorous ethics agency inside of the Department of Energy. If somebody owns an individual stock and they work in the NNSA and that stock happens to relate to something over in the EERE and they're not involved in it at all, it's not considered an ethics violation.
What do you say about the report that 130 officials in the department collectively traded 2,700 shares of stock?
All of that has been vetted through
and it's okay?
Because they're not trading in areas where they have any influence or are touching.
But the report is that these are companies, for instance, 28 Energy Department officials own stock in Exxon, 17 officials own stock in Chevron, 15 hold stock in both.
And they may not be doing anything related to fossil fuel. It may just be part of their portfolio.
Boy, that looks bad.
But it doesn't involve or influence in any way our actions.
It doesn't influence their actions? Owning the individual stock doesn't? Then why did you sell yours?
Absolutely does not, because I signed an ethics agreement with the President of the United States saying I would divest.
Well, presumably because he was rightly worried that owning these individual stocks would influence your decisions, don't you think?
Well, it's different when you're the head of a department and you have a whole agency.
Versus
when
the
you're
regulator.
in one part of an agency and you trade a stock that happens to be dealing with a completely other part. We have 100,000 people in the department, a very vast agency, and they're strewn about the country. If somebody over in NNSA buys some stock over that in Exxon, it doesn't involve their particular area of influence, and that's the influence part, I think, that you're objecting to.
Well, so I guess I don't understand your position. Your position is you're not concerned about 130 officials in the Energy Department collectively trading 2,700 shares of stock, including in Chevron, Exxon, and others?
I would be concerned if our ethics office was concerned, but they have reviewed all of the investments and all of these disclosure agreements, and the people who are doing individual stock trading are not involved in any decision-making related to a stock that they purchased.
Well, I tell you what, I think I've got a solution, which is let's just ban it. Do you know who this is? Do you think it's a good idea to attend conferences funded by foreign billionaires?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know the stocks, you don't know the billionaires, you would take no responsibility. Meanwhile, your Energy Department, executives in your Energy Department are trading stocks in companies that they have direct oversight over, and you were too.
That is incorrect. Nobody in the Department of Energy, and we have a strong ethics office, does not trade stocks in anything that they have oversight over.
That is simply not true, Madam Secretary.
Sir,
the Wall Street Journal has reported on this extensively.
If I may, Senator, if I may just ask the question, is it possible that maybe we can continue this at a later time? But if you had any questions on the direct energy policies.
Mr. Chairman, this is directly relevant to institutionalized corruption in the Department of Energy that she oversees. You're, I think, about to say that the Wall Street Journal report's wrong.
The Wall Street Journal report did not say that people over whom they were in areas where they were directly overseeing had stocks. They did not. Our ethics office consults with all of our employees that need to be, that have a reporting requirement about their stock holdings. They do not own stocks in areas that they have any influence over, nor do I.
Madam Secretary, all I have to say is this record is just deplorable. It is despicable. It is outrageous that hundreds of officers in the Energy Department are trading shares. It is outrageous that you misled us. It is outrageous that you are continuing to mislead us, and it is outrageous you're going to conferences and events funded by foreign billionaires using dark money to try to influence our politics. This has got to change, and frankly, you should go.